Cool, we're going to talk about the incline dumbbell press here. Very, very common exercise we'll see done in the gym, and probably a good one for beginners because we can scale the load back to something they can manage, and we can teach someone to have a lot of control through their shoulder blades. Ooh. Okay, teach them to have a little bit of control through their shoulder blades. So, with that in mind, big thing here, we're going to talk about the setup, and it starts in the feet up. So, from there, I want Marie to just place her feet down, often with most people, slightly behind her knee. Now, this isn't exactly the same for everybody. If you've got sort of like a more narrow sort of lifter, we'll probably get them a little bit further forward, but a good place to start is just below the knee. This means that you can have a bit of a counter force, driving her feet down to create more stability. The next thing we're going to think about, we're going to get to pick up the dumbbells, and I'm going to place them on her knees. Right? We'll obviously a lot of clients struggle to get these dumbbells up into place because they try and bicep curl them into position. What I want to see her think about doing is as she comes back, she's going to flick them up with her knees, lifting her knees up to get into position. So there you go. And then she can fly them up. We're going to start at the top position here. Reason why we start at the top, because the weight is stacked. There's no load here. She can hold this forever, right? This will give her opportunity now to think about pulling her shoulder blades into her back pockets to get herself locked in and stable. So this is the setup position. She's now got a good counter force as she drives her heels down. She's stable through here, and she's got a nice tight grip where she's not losing her wrist position. Now, on the way down, I wanted to think about rowing the dumbbells in. It's not about dropping. As you come down, think about pulling your shoulder blades into the bench and just lower into your dumbbell position. And we want to find, just come down, as you would. Keep squeezing in until her shoulder blades get stuck. Now we see here that Marie's got tons of range. Can you still squeeze your chest there or not? No? So maybe go a little bit higher. Can you squeeze your chest there? There, right. So that's probably a good range for Marie. Some people can have a little bit more, some people a little bit less, but we're looking for where they can keep the shoulder blades engaged and still feel their chest. On the way up, what you're going to think about, a lot of clients lose this because they think about driving the dumbbells up to the ceiling instead of driving the elbows in. The pecs will attach onto the sternum and up onto the upper arm. They drive the arm across the body rather than dumbbells up. If she lifts her shoulders, we see that and she loses her chest and she loses that stability. So here, as she comes down again for me, easy thing you can do is you can come hold onto here, push into my pinkies, and as you kind of get through, push into my fingers, drive across. So there you can guide the client of where they need to be. But again, you're thinking inwards, not upwards. Another thing to help you with this lift is thinking about, as you come down, increasing that foot drive. So at the bottom, you're really driving into the floor, and as you come up, big drive into the floor to create a bit of a counter force. You can have a little bit less up here, but we're creating that stability through there. Common breakdowns to see, as you said, is going to be pushing up the weight, so just throwing that weight up. That's again stopping them, making sure that they understand what they have to go inwards rather than upwards. We often see people losing their feet, which we can correct by having a good foot drive from the start. And another thing we tend to see is people losing patience in the rep. So as we come through, if you come in, as people tend to struggle, as soon as it starts to get tricky, you tend to start to throw themselves out of the body position. So as they come here, she comes up. As a rep gets really tough, the rep's going to slow down. But if she sticks at it, more often than not, the rep will come through.